I just made this shining text hover effect using CSS and JavaScript, and it will absolutely make your website shine. So let's see how to build it. Let's start with our HTML structure. All of our HTML will be nested inside a container. Inside the container, a heading element will be nested inside a div. This is the text that will be hovered on. Next, let's create a mask. This mask will help us make the sweeping shine effect. We have another heading element with the class sweep. This element contains the same text as our first heading, but it will be animated to create the light sweep. This heading element will be nested inside two dev elements to help us position and animate the shining effect properly. Now let's move on to CSS. So first of all, we have to make sure that the width of the container is the same as the width of the text. So let's set a display of inline block and let's hide its content if it overflows. For the heading elements, we will prevent them from wrapping by setting the white space property to no wrap and we'll give it a display of inline block. For the mask element, we have to stack it on the other heading element. So to achieve that, we will give the mask an absolute position and it will span the entire area with top, bottom, left, and right properties set to 0. Plus, it will be shifted horizontally by 50 pixels. So now, we have to make the light sweep. Let's give the first child of the mask element a width of 35 pixels, plus an overflow set to hidden so that if it exceeds its width, the content doesn't show. And just to make the effect more appealing, we use the transform skew property on the dev elements inside the mask. Now let's define our animations. The mask animation moves the mask element horizontally across the container to create a sweeping effect. The text animation moves the text element horizontally across the container in the opposite direction to the mask animation. Now for JavaScript, we will select both the mask and sweep elements, and we will specify the speed of our animation. Next, we will create a mouse over event listener, so when the user hovers over this text, our defined animations in CSS will be applied to both mask and sweep elements. But hold on, we're not done yet. As you can see, when you hover over the text again, the animation doesn't play. This is because the animations are already applied to these elements. Luckily, JavaScript has an event called animation end. This event occurs when a CSS animation has been completed. So back to our JavaScript, we'll create an animation end event listener, so whenever the CSS animation finishes, this listener will reset the animation, allowing it to restart on the next hover. By the way, this effect is inspired by Damian Gray on CodePen. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.